Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Okay, this video I'm going to teach you two things that I've been talking about for months on this channel, and I decided I'm going to give you two things to give you a really strong idea of why my course is different than anyone else out there. I think it is going to shock the living crap out of you. I think you're going to, for the first time in your life, be like, holy shit, I did not know that. One thing you're going to begin to notice more and more as you move along, especially when you take my course, you're going to look at all the other guys and go, wow, they're literally teaching us male stuff, how the male brain works, how the male mating system is turned on. You're going to realize they're on the outside looking in. What I'm going to do with my course, I'm going to take you inside in the same place that a woman is coming from. You're going to see it from her perspective. You're going to understand it from her perspective, and suddenly everything will start to make sense. Now, that's a bold claim when it comes to understanding women. Making sense? Trust me, suddenly women will make sense to you. Now, there's a new phrase I came up with. It's called Primal Seduction. It is the way women are hardwired neurologically, meaning the way their nerves are wired and where they're connected to, and what button pushes her mating system, what triggers her to be romanced, to fall in love, to want to make love to you. All of a sudden, getting the girl back, saving your marriage is a realistic proposition. Because now you're coming from a place of clarity in understanding her. The other courses, okay, I'm just going to say it this way. If they're telling you like step 1, step 2, or rules, well, don't do this, or this is going to piss her off, they don't understand why this stuff works. Okay, a lot of times it's like, well, here's a technique that I use, and you're like, well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's because you still don't know what you're doing. You're on the outside looking in. You're like a robot or like a scientist going, I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to analyze this. You're never going to understand it that way. You have to become it in order to understand it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the thing that I think is going to shock a lot of you guys, everything I teach comes down to love, understanding, communication, and compassion. That's what this business is all about. That's what I'm all about. A lot of guys will come in thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get laid, or this is going to be some kind of manipulation thing. Here's the thing, it's not about manipulation. It's about understanding. A lot of people are like, well, why are you so compassionate? It's because I understand women. I understand where they're at, where they're coming from, what their hormones are doing to them, and all of a sudden it's not personal. Now, when I say understanding, I don't mean to blindly be, oh, I'm an understanding man. That's not what I mean. I don't mean being this fake, like, well, I'm just going to be understanding even though I'm hurt inside and I don't like what she's doing. I don't understand what she's... No. I mean literally understanding what the fuck's going on. Like, there's a difference between 2 plus 3 versus 2 times 3. I understand that. So I don't just mean like, well, I don't understand why this works, but I'm going to be an understanding guy. No, I mean literally, when you understand women, where they're coming from, what they mean, how they communicate, why they need to go through this process in order to make love to you, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I thought women were just being... See, look, it makes sense when men are coming from a place of powerlessness and lack of understanding and confusion, and it just seems like, well, she's just playing games, she doesn't care about me, she's just being mean, she's just... Guys, believe it or not, there's the female form of seduction is not the male form of seduction. When women try to seduce men and turn men on, they do it in the female way, which absolutely pisses men off, because to us, you know what I told a woman one day? She was about 40 years old. She goes, oh yeah, I learned never ever to do that. Now, it's called the cat and mouse game. It's when you tease them, like a cat and mouse would do. The mouse stimulates the cat because it runs, it gets the cat excited. Well, that's the woman. The woman's the cat. She gets excited when you play hard to get. And I was talking to this woman at a coffee shop. She goes, oh yeah, I learned never, ever, ever to tease a man sexually. And I said, why? She goes, they act like you killed their firstborn child. Now, I laughed a little bit, but I said, yeah, you're right. We don't like to be sexually teased. That really fucking enrages us. Now, here's the thing, guys. Believe it or not, I know it sounds bonkers, bizarro, nuts. Women love to play the cat and mouse game. They love to be teased sexually. Now, there's a process. I'm not going to teach it in this video. But what I'm trying to say is like, wait a minute. So women try to turn men on the female way, and that really enrages men. It literally feels like they're ripping our hearts out. And that's what I told you. I go, yeah, it feels like you're ripping our heart out, and it fucking hurts. Now, on the other side of the fence, women are saying the same thing. When men try to, get in our pants, which means try to seduce us, because what women don't understand, they're like, wait, they're trying to turn us on by doing that? Why? It's the most... See, look, when women try to seduce you, it rips our hearts out. When we try to seduce them, it makes them feel like you don't give a fuck about them. Like you just could give a shit. All you want is sex. And when I have to explain, like, dude, believe it or not, but that's his way of expressing his love. She's like, what? Why? We are wired so differently that when we try to make a woman happy, when we try to turn a woman on sexually, it actually pisses her off and fucking enrages her. Now, here's the deal. You're not doing anything wrong. And this is what I explained to women in the women's course. And here's the other thing. They're not doing anything wrong to you, but they have to understand is like, look, when you tease men sexually like that, our brain does not like the indirect game. We like to do it directly. And this is what that woman said when I told her. She goes, yeah, you know what I learned? Men would rather have you say no directly, we're not going to have sex, than leave him in limbo wondering. And I said, why? She goes, because it makes them so pissed off. I'm like, yeah. I go, honestly, men would rather have you say, no, we're not going to have sex, versus not knowing what's going on. Now, guys, I know this is nuts to the male brain, but believe it or not, when a woman is lost and confused and not sure what's going to happen, whether she's going to get laid or if we're going to have a good time, if we're going to, like do this or go to the movies, believe it or not, they fucking like that. Okay, let me rephrase that. It turns them on. It sexually turns women on. I know it sounds nuts, huh? Now let's go back to all those YouTube videos you've been watching about, oh, gotta be stoic, gotta be this, gotta be that, women this and women that. It's a misunderstanding from A to Z, I promise you. I'm gonna share something with you, something personal. When I was about 21, 22 years old, maybe a little bit older actually, probably about 25 or 26 now that I think about it, I was voted in by the elders of the church. It was three houses down on the corner from my dad's house. I lived with them for 1 year, went to that church for a year, and when I moved away, they got together and voted it in, and they said they wanted me to be their associate pastor. I went to my dad's. I think I stayed the night so I wouldn't have to get there early in the morning. And I remember I walked down the driveway. I had kind of a long driveway to the sidewalk. And he walked down there with me right before I went to church. And I said, Dad, why don't you come to church with me? And out of nowhere, my dad burst out in tears. And he cried out. Now this is like 8 o'clock in the morning. He cries out loud. If God's so great, and he's sobbing. I've never seen my dad cry in my life. He goes, why did he make it so hard to love a woman? He cried. He goes, Michael, I worked so hard to make your mom happy. No, he goes, no matter what I did, it made her angrier and angrier. I didn't know what to do. Believe it or not, but the male way of loving a woman is not the way a woman receives love or emotional fulfillment. She cannot neurologically or physically receive love in the male external way. She has to receive it in the internal way. If you don't learn how to do this, if you don't learn how to speak the internal language, if you don't learn how to do the internal form of right brain female seduction, she's not going to want to be with you mentally, emotionally, or sexually. This has to be done in the female way, not because she's a bitch, not because God's an asshole, but because it's the way she was neurologically wired. Look, if you're going to start your car, you don't get out of the car, go to the back, and put your key in the muffler. Everyone's going to go, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm starting my car." And they're like, "Well, it's not starting, is it?" Like, "No, it seems to be dead." That's what you're doing to your relationship. That's what you're doing to the women you're dating. You're doing it in the male way. The male way turns a woman off, kills the love, and pisses her off. But if you learn how to do it in the right brain way, the internal way, the female way, she'll want you to romance her. She'll want you to literally seduce her and turn her on sexually. Trust me, guys. When I was younger, I used to think that women didn't like sex. I thought women didn't like to be turned on. No, they want to be turned on. But the male way, which I used to do, actually pissed them the fuck off. It hurt them. It made them feel like you were purposely damaging them, and they didn't understand why. And this is why we have the phrase, "all's fair in love and war," because neither one of us is loving each other because we don't know how. Love does not have to be a battlefield anymore. It can be a place of clarity and understanding, happiness, joy, lots of sex, lots of pleasure, intimacy where two people are truly connecting on a deeper, more emotionally fulfilling and meaningful way, where you are happy with her, where she's happy with you, because finally she's getting what she needs in a relationship. And guys, if you think it's better sex physically, no, it's something done in the right brain way. Today I'm going to give you 2 real examples of what I teach in my course that'll help you to understand. I don't know if it's in a visceral way or in a physical way, but something that is solid, tangible, something that you can grab a hold of and grab onto so you can see it and understand it. So go ahead and listen in and let's find out what this is. So the second one is going to blow your mind. It's something you've never heard before, I promise you this. The first one, probably too. Oh, and by the way, this is in my book, Cracked Female Code. It goes more in depth. In the course, we go over this in person and we go much more in depth to where you really know how to do it, you understand it, and you can walk away doing this with women. Number 1, women want to feel you. In order to understand you, she has to have an emotional experience of what you're feeling through your communication. Meaning, you just say a couple words and she's looking at you like, what's he talking about? She needs to actually feel what you're feeling in order to understand you. Now, this is too in depth for this video to explain all of it, but I'm going to give you 2 pieces. Alright, so when I was a little kid, during the winter or late fall, my mom would always make me and my brother Gary, when we were little kids, I mean like 4 or 5 years old, crack walnuts with hammers. In fact, I think I was 3 years old the first year we did it. And we went in the garage, and there was a draft on the garage door and on the side door, and it was freaking really cold. In fact, at one point I remember crying because it was so cold, and she would make us stay out there until we finished it. It would take hours. So we had a new water heater installed, okay? It was on the other side of the garage, okay? But they were both up against the wall. One was on the right and one was on the left. So the new one was on the left. So for some reason, my mom put the like a blanket or something out, and she put the walnuts in the middle in a bag, and then she put some bowls out and gave us some hammers. We had to crack them open and then pull out the walnut thing and stuff, the inside the meat, and put it in a bowl. Well, I was crying and it was really cold. My hands were cold, my fingers were numb, and it was miserable. So we did this night after night. We'd banged our fingers quite a bit, so they're bruised and cut and bleeding. It was pretty, it was kind of rough, I think, for little kids. But what happened was, about the second week into this, I think it was our second year doing it, so we did it like every fall or early winter or something like that. And I got kind of smart because I was so cold, my hands were hurting really bad. I went over to the new water heater because the old water heater was off. It was cold. So when you touched it or when you got near it, it was cold. So tears were coming out of my eyes. I get up and I walk over to the warm water heater, and I warmed up my hands, and I stood there. My brother Gary, he started yelling, "Get over here and help me do this." You know, he was kind of a bully, bigger brother. Wasn't nice to me at all. So I came back and I was banging on it. And then I said, well, why don't we drag the comforter, not the comforter, but the covers, and let's pull everything over there, because everything was on top of the covers. He goes, why? I go, because it's warmer over there. And at first he's like, no, but then he started getting really cold, and then eventually we pulled the blanket over by the warm water heater that was on. Now back then in what was that? That was the early 70s. The water heaters were pretty hot. In fact, if you were a kid and you touched it, you would have burned your hand. Like, they were really hot. So it was emanating this warmth in that corner of the room. So we pulled it over there, and all of a sudden, after about 5 minutes, we're doing a lot better. We're feeling a lot better, and we're a lot happier doing our job. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Listen to what I just said. We're feeling better. We're doing better. We're a lot better, etc., etc. Before, we were cold and we were miserable. Our fingers were cut and bruised and they hurt. Hint, hint, wink, wink, blink, blink. So what you're going to find out when you take my course is you're going to be like, wow, this entire course, genuinely, it's about making women feel better. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, if your wife feels good when she's with you, she's going to want to be with you. She's going to be happy with you. She's going to do things for you without you having to ask. She's going to cook, she's going to clean, she's going to massage you. She's just going to be more loving and kind and just treat you better. I mean, doesn't that make common sense? But Mike, I've paid for dinner, I've bought her things. Things don't make a woman emotionally feel good. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, I'm going to be real blunt. So the way men are, in the male way, it irritates women, it hurts their feelings, it makes them feel like you don't care. And I remember my dad saying, I tried as hard. He goes, Michael, it seemed like no matter what I did, it just made her angrier and angrier. Well, if I could go back in time, and when my dad was still alive, I could teach him my course, my dad would be like, holy shit, so the harder I tried at doing the male thing, that's what was upsetting. I'm like, well, yeah, because that's not love to a woman. She can't receive your love that way. So it was actually pissing her off. And he's like, oh, well, no wonder why she got so pissed. I promise you, the more you take this course, the more you're going to be like, holy shit, men have got everything backwards. And we do. But then again, so do women. And it's not your fault. And it's not her fault. We're just different. But we can learn now based on the discoveries that I've made. So a lot of guys, okay, are you guys ready? All right, this is going to be the first internal, I'm going to call it awareness thing, but I don't know if awareness is the right word, but it's the first internal lesson, we'll call it. Number 1. So a lot of guys, when they come to me, they'll usually, and it's also when I teach them, we go out, generally they'll say to me like, well, how do I make a girl like me? And I react like this. Whoa, 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 bro, stop. No, we don't, no, we don't do that. No. Slavery days are over. We don't make anyone anything. This isn't another control freak course, okay? So here's the answer, and I'm dead serious. You don't. Now, your left brain is always about how do I make, because the left brain is the control brain. It goes external and it grabs onto people. It manipulates people, controls people, pushes and pulls, pushes their buttons. That's a very typical left brain way of going through life, and it really pisses people off. Now, I'm going to give you an answer right now. It is not the answer. I'm going to give it to you right now after this. But the way you make someone happy is you give them their freedom. I know, bizarre concept, huh? What do you mean? Give them their freedom, let them be. Let them have their free will. Have to control them. Here's the thing, guys. Your brain, by nature, is naturally controlling. You can't help it. It's always about grabbing and controlling things. What I'm going to teach you in the course, I'm going to get to the answer soon, is I'm going to teach you how to create space by completely and totally letting go. Especially by completely and letting go of your left brain when you're in a relationship, when you're in a woman. You are going to be shocked at the amount of power this brings into your life. And then you bring it into the business world, into your work world, into your social world. All of a sudden, a power that has always been there will reveal itself, and people will start to treat you differently. They will treat you better. They will respect you. Things begin to shift. Okay, so here's the answer to your question and the answer to number 1. Your first internal lesson. And I'm serious. It's a little different. It's a lot different. The way you make a woman like you is by liking yourself. Think about it. If you're miserable, if you don't like yourself, what is she going to feel being around you? She's going to feel miserable. She's going to feel this sense of, like you don't like yourself. It may even rub off on her to where she starts to not like herself when she's around you. Anybody? Well, what do you mean? Well, we literally take on other people's energy or vibes, and you're like, oh, I don't believe in that, Mike. Really? Okay, well, hold on. Have you studied basic science in elementary, middle school, and high school? Have you ever heard of atoms and electrons? That's what I'm talking about. Now, what I tell a lot of guys, and I first heard it from Tony Robbins, but it took me years and years later to start to really understand what he meant. He said, everything I've taught you, now I know I shared this in a recent video, but he goes, after everything I've taught you, he goes, forget everything and do this one thing. If you don't do this one thing, everything else is a waste. You have to become the master of making you feel good. Now, remember me and my brother, we were in the cold garage in the winter cracking walnuts with these big hammers, hitting our fingertips and smashing them and stuff? It was cold. It was dark. It was literally dark. And I remember when we pulled the blanket over there with all the walnuts, and after about 5 minutes, our fingers started to warm up, and I went and turned on the light. And all of a sudden, things started looking up. I started to feel better. Why? Because the water heater was warm. Because the light was bright. It was better than being in the cold, miserable darkness. Which is what the left brain is. The left brain is literally the black or white brain. It is the cold, unfeeling brain. It's the mechanical brain. There's no emotions. There's no feelings. The number one thing a woman wants is to feel your emotions. This is how women bond. This is how women feel close to you. So I call this the water heater analogy. So we had 2 water heaters. We had the old one, which my dad unplugged because it didn't work very well. And we got a new one, which he plugged in. And it was nice and warm, and it was crispy. It was like being next to a warm stove. All that heat, coming off and just making you feel good in the middle of the winter. And it felt good to be around it. Did the water heater go across the room, grab my shirt, and pull me over there? No. When I noticed the heat was coming over from there, it emanated, and I was like, man, that feels a lot better than this fucking cold over here. So I voluntarily, willingly, now watch this, listen closely, of my own free will, walked over there, pulled the blanket and walnuts and the hammers over there, all by my own freedom and my own free will. That's what this course is going to do for you. So the warm water heater felt good. The other one was cold, and it felt cold. The warm one, it felt warm. So what I'm saying to you is you need to start getting really good at making yourself feel good. If you feel good, women are going to want to come around you. Now, I made a video earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If I can't, well, you're going to have to watch the videos before this. Okay, so it's called 5 Secret Hacks to Attract. Okay, that's in the thumbnail. The title is 5 Powerful Secret Hacks to Attract Women, Dating Tips for Men. Okay, go and watch that video. I will teach you a bunch of different ways to make you feel better, okay? And then there's the internal awareness techniques. These techniques make you feel good physically, mentally, and emotionally. You just like, when you get it, you're going to be like, man, I feel great. And then women are going to want to come around you because they want to feel you, because they want to feel the feeling that you're having, because it feels good. Feels comfortable. I'm going to teach you how to feel comfortable. For right now, you need to do things like eat a little bit healthier, get some exercise, do some stretching twice a day. It will make you feel great. Get a massage once a week. It'll make you feel great. Do some deep breathing. All of this stuff teaches you how to feel great. When you feel good, guess what? That makes her feel good when she's around you. That's how you make women feel good. Number 2, the second internal awareness lesson. If you've gotten this far in this video, congratulations, you're going to learn something and see something from a completely different, radically different perspective. Now, the male brain is the external brain, as I've taught you. It's about going outside, looking outside of your body, talking outside of your body. When you express yourself in that way, she's looking at you like, I have no idea what he's saying. But Mike, how do I make women like me? Well, I'm trying to teach you. The overall answer is the internal way. Do not look at this in some mystical, magical way. I'm literally meaning the difference between the positive part of your electrical cord and the negative wire. There's a positive wire and there's a negative. Just like on your battery in your car, there's a positive pole and a negative pole. This is literally what I mean. So the male way of expressing himself is he speaks externally, and it's usually in a sentence, or no, let me say it the other way. It's usually in a single word or a phrase, or if you're, and I say this to women, or if you're lucky, you get a whole sentence, and they laugh and go, oh, it's so true, men are horrible at this. So here's how you express your emotions and feelings to a woman. You don't say, oh, I feel great, man, I feel awesome, I had a good day. She's looking at you like, what the fuck is this guy saying? And she wonders, she goes, well, why won't he tell me? And here's the funny thing, you did, but you did it in the male way. And she's like, why won't he tell me how I was feeling? You're like, and she might ask you a second or third time. You're like, I just told you. I said, I feel great. I'm having a good day. Like, what do you want? The details? And I stick my head in and I say, yes, she literally needs the details. Now, here's what I mean. So, on a physical level or visceral level, I guess that's what you could say, she wants to know how you're feeling inside. And you're like, well, I just told her. No, you literally didn't even explain one single word of how you're feeling inside. Now, I wish you were here so you could watch my hands and the way I'm using them to express myself. This is why you have to take the course. There's a lot of pieces like this. You physically have to be with me so you can see it. For now, buy the book Cracked Female Code at crackedfemalecode.com. Now, when men communicate, they look externally with their eyes. They might even look externally across the room at her, saying, oh, well, I have had a good day. I feel great, as he's looking at her. When a woman expresses herself, she might look off to the side or slightly up. She opens her eyes, and then her awareness drops down inside her body. By doing this, you can get a sense of, she's feeling something inside. If you look outside, your awareness goes outside, which disconnects you from your emotions. Now she can't feel anything. So the way women express their emotions is they go into their body and they notice what they're feeling. They notice the size, the shape, the movement, the speed, the tempo, the color, I don't know if I said it, but the temperature. So I'm going to give you an example. So she might kind of have an internal look about her. In NLP, we call it like she kind of gets a defocused look because she's going internal. And so it's literally like when you focus outside, it's like you're looking at like the red dot on a dartboard, right? The bullseye. The opposite is, instead of going circle in a small, like 1-inch circle, you expand your awareness all the way out. That means defocus, and then your awareness drops down inside in an open way. So she might like put her hands around her solar plexus and belly, and she might move them, like right now moving my hand clockwise, like there's this something inside moving clockwise. So I got my hand going around my belly button, okay, in a circle. And she might say something like, well, it's like this, kind of like a big, round, smooth, soft, white, crystal clear ball. And it's moving clockwise. And now as I'm moving my hand, okay, clockwise, of course, in a circle, and rubbing my belly. And it's moving clockwise, but it's kind of going slow about this speed. And she's showing it to you. See, you have to watch her body language. You have to watch the way she expresses with her hands, literally. And it's kind of like it's smooth and soft. It's not going fast. It's kind of slow. It's a very warm, comforting, relaxing feeling inside. Women literally go inside and they explain and express the actual feeling. The shape of it, is it square? Does it have spikes? Is it sharp? Does it hurt? Does it burn? They literally describe the 5 senses. So she might have said, like, it's like a white, crystal clear, smooth, round ball moving clockwise. It's kind of like medium heavy, say about 4 or 5 pounds, maybe 7 pounds. They'll even give you the frickin' weight so you can feel the weight. It's smooth. So you can feel smooth. You can feel heavy. You can feel, moving in a circular clockwise way, and you can see it. She might even say it's got like this kind of hum to it, like a sound that you can kind of hear inside. So visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and then also olfactory and gustatory, which is smell and taste. Women will say it almost has like this light, sweet flavorfulness about it. It's kind of like a light honey. It's sweet and it's light, and they'll describe the smells and the flavors and the sounds and what it's like, a light, quiet hum, and it has a vibration to it. Now she's rubbing it right, like from her chest down to her belly as she's saying it. Has this nice vibration inside that loosens you up and relaxes you. Women literally describe things inside them, which means internally. The way a woman understands you is through describing in detail the 5 senses. But Mike, I do not do that. I buy her flowers and I buy her things. She can't feel $100 flowers. She can't feel $100 piece of dead meat. Do you understand that? It doesn't give her emotions. It doesn't give her feelings. And she doesn't want to feel a dead meat's feelings. She wants to feel your live feelings, what you feel like, the man that she's with. But Mike, I told her, I feel great. I feel awesome. I had a good day. I really did. I am not Robotron. I just described my feelings in depth, Robotron. Guys, you aren't describing shit. But Mike, the 3rd time she said it, I yelled it out loud. I said, I told you, I had an awesome fishing trip in Hawaii. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was the greatest vacation ever. She can't smell greatest. She can't smell or taste ever. She can't feel the vibration of awesome. She can't feel the weight of awesome because you didn't explain what it felt like. Was it round? Was it smooth? Was it soft? Was it heavy? Was it light? Was it medium? Was it a few pounds? Was it 10 pounds? Was it warm? Was it smooth? Was it rough? Did it have sharp spikes like little knives that were poking into your ribs and it felt like something was ripping your guts out? See, you could feel that, huh? See, here's the thing. It doesn't, see, a lot of men are like, what's the right thing to say, Mike? That's wrong. She just wants to know how you feel. How was your experience? That's all she wants to know. You guys keep thinking there's some right or wrong answer. It's not a fucking test. She wants to understand, like, well, what do you think? What do you feel? Like, what was that like to you? The hard thing that guys have a hard time understanding because they're not wired this way, and for women, because they're connected to the right brain, which is the five senses brain, her communication processor is in the right brain. So in order for a woman to understand you, she has to have an emotional experience of what you're saying. Smooth, warm, soft, hot, sharp, spiky, light, heavy, medium, dark, bright, shiny. It was the light, sweet, flavorful taste. Once you learn it, you'll be like, wow, this is actually pretty easy. And the way I teach it in the course makes it really easy. You're going to be blown away. I'm going to walk you through. It's going to take some time, but at the very end, I'm going to go, this is all you actually have to do. And you're going to be like, dude, that's so easy. And she's going to actually not only understand you, she's going to want to have a conversation with you. I promise you, when you start doing this and women engage and they shut up and they listen to what you're saying, the whole world begins to shift. You're like, whoa, this is fucking different. See, here's the thing. Women have looked at you your entire life in a certain way, and you just think, well, that's just, you don't even think, it's just like, well, that's just the way women are. But when she shifts to the other side, you're going to be like, wait, what's this? In fact, the first few times she does it, you're going to like, oh shit, I think I'm pissing her off. And you might like, oh, I'm sorry, am I talking too much? Or what else we say? Like, oh, do you not like what I'm talking about? She'll go, no, please, continue. I'm listening. Trust me, when you talk to a woman for the first time in your life in a way that makes her want to listen without making her, I promise you, your whole world's going to change. So all I'm saying for now, all I want you to learn in this video is, number one, the way you get a woman to like you is by you making yourself feel good, to where you feel good inside. And then she's going to voluntarily, of her own free will, want to come and be around you because it feels good being around you. Number two, learning how to communicate from inside internally. All of a sudden, the lights go on, her eyes open up, and she starts to willingly listen to you and engage with you in conversation in a way that you've never ever experienced before. If you want to learn more, buy my book, Crack the Female Code, at crackthefemalecode.com right now. You are going to learn a lot more inside that book than what you're getting out of my videos. Now, how many rules did I tell you to follow? Don't do this. If you do this, it's going to piss her off. I gave you no rules. Rules are left brain function. The left brain processes through rules, structure, and organization. We don't do that here. It's all about making ourselves feel good and creating a warm, comforting space around us that women want to willingly walk into and join. And then we begin to communicate in a way that makes her feel even better. I shouldn't use the word makes because it's really of her own free will. God, here's the other thing. When you communicate, it's not like you're trying to make her feel something or listen a certain way. You go inside and you lose yourself inside your own world, and you begin. Okay, here's. I'm going to teach. It's easy to say. It's hard to teach. I'm going to teach you how to feel what you're saying as you're saying it. So you get caught up in your own experience, your own world, and then she joins in with you voluntarily. If that sounds freaky, wait till you see what I got in store for you in the course. Alright guys, that's it. This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com, and soon Primal Seduction. Click subscribe, click the like button, go and make a comment, and as always, you can make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box, but I prefer that you buy my book, Crack the Female Code, or the Ultimate Package. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.